Three-long team to get in for the left. That long game, perhaps, in the SEC championship game. Kickoff will be at 7:30 Eastern. Tennessee is a 9-point favorite on ESPN Bet. Top team in the nation is in action today. Florida taking the field, still unbeaten on the season as the Ducks look to grow at Wisconsin. They will kick off at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. NBA today. Hornets kick things off. First game of the day, 3 Eastern Milwaukee. But 2-3 after starting of the season at 2-7. Hey, it's Rosie and Super Bowl champion standing coming up Monday. A huge weekend in the NFL, plus an elimination game in the SEC. And I'll recap it all live on for the review at 7 a.m. Eastern. It's on Sportsmanlike weekday mornings at 6. Right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN 2, and ESPN.
Oh no. Put it back here.
You've arrived at the ultimate destination for Kentucky game day. This is the Bleed Blue Kentucky Pregame Show. What's going on, Big Blue Nation? Welcome back. It is game day. It feels like we have not played football in a really long time. A lot of stuff has happened in the last couple of weeks. I'm Paul, joined by Jaden and Kendall, who I'm actually very surprised is vertical today. We're in the den. I don't even know if we call this a den. It's kind of just like a loft.
We have a light on this time.
Yeah, the lighting's way. I made sure the lighting is all set up and everything. This used to be like the man loft, and then the skylight got taken out, so it didn't have any air conditioning. So now it's just a big storage unit, as you can tell by all just the stuff everywhere, but not right here except for whiskey. So guys, it's good to be back with you. It seems like it's been forever since the Tennessee game, and today we play Murray State, and probably could just end the pregame show just right there.
We'll see y'all later.
Now, don't knock them. Murray State is a special place for me. It's where I grew up.
This Murray State team though might be
it's so bad.
It might be the worst team that has ever, or the worst team in a long time that's come in, statistically speaking, at least, into Kroger Field.
I will be nicer. Did you listen to what I had to say about Murray on the live show?
Well, just a little bit, but it hurt my feelings.
Yeah, so I was gonna say, if you don't listen to it, I'll be nicer to them today, just for you. But they're at a disadvantage.
Look, they're building. The other thing too is, look, they're building. They're basically Kentucky back in 2013, right? They have a new coach. They're trying to rebuild a program. That takes time. And look, they're not as bad as they at their level. They're very much similar to what Kentucky went through back in 2013.
Yeah, they're also. I mean, I don't know. They got rid of Dean Hood. I'm mad at them for the Dean Hood thing. I'm mad. Murray is not doing good things right now. I don't like what they're doing. They got rid of Dean Hood.
That's it. Well, that's.
I mean, what would you like me to say? Like they are bottom 10 in FCS and like everything on defense. They can't throw the ball really at all. They run somewhat okay for their level. There's not a ton of breakdown. It's more about what Kentucky is able to do, and who we see on the field for Kentucky is most important to me, and how much of who we see on the field.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. It's an interesting week because for a lot of reasons. One, what you just said, who do we see, who do we not see? Also, how long do we see specific people? The other piece to it is, get a win. You'd like to see some things in the offense that shows there's some explosive, capabilities. If not, that's going to be concerning on Monday when we have a conversation. I think this should be a game you see a lot of the young kids, some kids that maybe we're excited about for the future, getting some time. But look, Kentucky needs to have a very easy afternoon today, because anything other than that, I think, really hurts what they're trying to accomplish for
the rest of the season, I mean, you got Texas and Louisville. We'll kind of talk a little bit, maybe looking forward to. Today we'll talk some other aspects. We'll talk a little bit of basketball today. It's kind of a big weekend in UK athletics as well, so we'll talk some other stuff like that. A lot of busyness in and around Lexington, which I think is exciting.
And there's yet another cheer competition at Rupp, so be careful with your traffic getting around campus, because
I didn't know that was a thing.
They do those like every
all the
day.
time.
It feels like every day, and it messes the traffic up completely.
It's a never-ending story.
I just feel like the traffic in Lexington stinks.
It's the worst.
Situation.
It's not ideal. I would not expect game day traffic to be horrendous.
No.
But here's the aspect.
Might have more people.
But no, but like people have said that all season, and the fans have always shown up. I mean, this has not been a year where it's been everybody's actually shown up, and that's actually something that's good. I saw something yesterday. Somebody was trying to make like a thing of like the resale tickets. And like, oh my God, look at all these tickets. And I was like looking as they're going around the stadium, like, that doesn't look like there's that many resale tickets. Like that's for that every game. People, like, that's what I don't think other people understand. Of the 48,000 tickets, there's probably 3,000 tickets that are bought, maybe a little bit more, that are bought by people that just resell their tickets. It's not like that's not maybe more. That's not an uncommon occurrence when you're seeing on the resale side of that. So I'm not reading into that too much. Louisville fans always travel a little well. Georgia fans travel well. Louisville's going to be excited. Your Kentucky's gauge of that game, I think, is going to be over the next 2 weeks and seeing what happens. But I'm not sitting over here thinking that Louisville's going to have half the stadium or anything like that, which I think would be just a little silly. They don't even fill their stadium. Why are they going to fill ours?
Exactly. I don't expect it to be anything crazy then either.
I didn't know that we were worried Louisville was taking over half the stadium. That seems like a silly thing to be worried about, to be honest.
So because they can't even fill theirs.
Yeah, I mean,
Exactly.
Yeah, I agree.
And it's Louisville. It doesn't really matter what happens these next 2 weekends. Kentucky fans,
there's still confidence there.
Kentucky fans and Kentucky players still want to kick the heck out of Louisville, like no matter what.
But there's confidence there. Like there's still I think in a lot of ways, everyone looks at that game and doesn't be like, oh yeah, Louisville's going to come in and spank us. I don't get that vibe even in the fan base.
No, I don't either.
This team has frustrated me to no end, but I still kind of think they beat Louisville, which I know is the curse if I think that they're going to win a game.
Oh yeah, you should definitely not pick them in that game.
Yeah, I plan on not picking them ever again.
Yeah,
but
you're not going to pick them today either.
No, I'm not.
You should definitely pick them today, because when I post that, you're going to get clowned on because nobody's going to listen to the show and going to be like, why is Jaden crazy?
Yeah, I know. On social media, can you post the Kentucky logo? But here I'll say mine. No, but it's. Yeah, I still hate Louisville, and I'm still gonna be there. I think a lot of people are in the same boat.
Yeah.
And if they keep it competitive in Texas, then that'll just help them keep that momentum.
Well, I think there's a lot of reasons to be optimistic still about next week. We talked a little bit about the show. We'll talk about a lot of things today. Obviously, we will talk a little bit about Murray State and the matchup today. I mean, there's not really a close win here we're projecting. I mean, and not that we are the be all end all of football that knows everything, but you got to feel like this should be a very comfortable win for Kentucky today.
Yeah, the spread is like 38.5.
I would actually take it. I would take Kentucky, the points and the over.
Yeah, the
total,
the
49.
49.5. Kentucky's team line, not the total over under. Kentucky's team line should be 49.5.
Yeah.
I no longer bet because the first 2 weeks of the season it went so horribly. I lost, $20, but
it went terrible. I basically lost 2 times at McDonald's.
Yes, this is correct. But that's the only $20 I've ever put into betting. So I was very distraught about this. I may have to put 20 more in to bet Kentucky to cover.
So I actually thought about betting this game. I downloaded the app, created an account, tried to upload money, and I tried 3 cards, and all 3 said that your bank does not support it. And I was like, "Yeah, I'm done. I'm not even gonna try it."
You know what? I'm gonna bet everything in my account on Kentucky to cover 38.5.
How much is that?
I It needs facial recognition. $1.03.
That's
Oh,
fine.
my
Fair.
Lord.
You'll probably at least triple your money.
There's no way. I will probably get
If
1
Jaden
cent
doesn't
back.
win, if Jaden
Right.
doesn't win that bet, he will be the maddest person in the
Right.
world for a $1
I will be very
Yeah.
upset.
and
The live
change.
show will not be good on Monday if they don't cover 38.5. I will be very upset. I'll be in a very bad mood.
Yeah.
I won't be that upset. I will probably have no thoughts coming out of this game, but
I'm sure we'll have thoughts.
It will be on the surface frustrating.
I'm sure we will have thoughts of this game because we have thoughts about
Yeah,
everything.
Yeah.
Yes, but it will change absolutely nothing for me going forward, whether they win by 70 or win by 20.
How excited are you to go to the game today, Jaden?
I am watching the game from the couch.
Jaden will be at the game. I'll even take picture proof that he'll be there. It's fine.
I will be beaten. I will not be going to the game.
He'll be there.
I'll be there.
Such a
But I'm really happy for everyone that is going. It's very cloudy. I thought it was supposed to be
It's
kind of
cloudy.
sunny.
It's supposed to be sunny. It's supposed to be
Yeah.
sunny. This and like
Yeah,
it's clearing up.
I was hoping to look up and see the sun and tell everyone that it's a really nice day. It is decently warm though. Like it's not the coldest it's ever been.
No,
been much colder games.
It's going to be in the low 60s for today. It's kind of beautiful to be out and about. It's probably the nicest weather game we've had all season, and that's crazy to say on November 16th. Look, obviously, it's not been the weather's not been terrible except for Southern Miss. It's just been hot.
Yeah,
It's not been
awesome.
it's not been football weather though. It's it's not been put the pullovers on and everything and go to the game, which I think is kind of stinks because that's what I think about with football.
Yeah, this is the coldest game of the year, and you could probably do without a hoodie.
Yeah,
you could probably make it without a hoodie.
Kendall's wearing a jacket.
I don't know about that.
Yeah,
unless you're Kendall, who's going to be in a
pullover
jacket.
but I don't know if you need like big bundle up or
Well,
anything.
No.
You don't need your winter.
That's too much. That's too much.
Yeah,
like
that's
my perfect kind of weather is 60 to like 45. That's kind of like really nice football. I remember Kentucky played UT Martin.
Oh, that was a cold game.
A lot. It was really cold and it was like sleeting.
Yes.
It was terrible.
There was nobody there.
When's the last time I was there? I was there. When's the last time we had a snow game? Oh, speaking of, Louisville could potentially be a snow game.
Right.
Are they projecting?
They're
snow?
projecting
Yeah.
potentially that
Awesome.
we might get snow. Do you think it would be pretty awesome
That would be so awesome.
for Kentucky
Amazing.
and Louisville to wear their home uniforms moving forward? Because you're starting to see it a little bit, like USC and UCLA, BYU and Utah, completely different colors. Do you think that they should wear their solid? Because there's no clash, except if they both wore black. There's no clash.
I mean, yeah.
Because how cool would it be if Louisville was in their all red and Kentucky's in their all blue? We're not going to wear all blue. I guarantee you we're wearing all black for this game.
I think there are some innuendos there that Mitch Barnhart may not love, but the snow game would be cool.
But the snow would be so fun.
I feel like we just don't get snow games.
We've gotten flurries every now and then.
I know, but the snow game looks so fun. I want
snow
I
game.
want to not see the field.
I don't know about that.
Well,
That would
that's
be
a
kind
little
of crazy. Did you see? It's kind of like NCAA 25 one time. Like you clicked it on end of the season, Kentucky Louisville, and there's snow on the field.
Yeah,
You're like,
right.
man, this is really unrealistic.
Yeah, exactly. But like, I'm pretty sure I turn it snow on every game from the ages of 7 to like 15.
The only thing realistic about that game was Louisville was like 3-7 going into the game. I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, but I'm excited for the snow game. Now you've got me locked in on the snow. I'm mad about Dean Hood.
Well, you can stew on it while we go to commercial break. We'll be right back. We'll talk more, kind of everything that's happened this week, everything going on this weekend, more football. It's a get right week, and you're listening to the Bleed Blue Kentucky football game pregame show here on 102.7 The Game.
Christmas at the Mudd's home used to be simple and small, but our family has grown, and so has Mudd's furniture. Stop by today to see if
Did I
this
hear
is
them
what
say
savings.
that?
You're still hot. I was just asking if you're still hot on the mic.
Furniture and accessories for every brand. Let Mudd's furniture
I think you did.
holidays with 20% off. From our family to yours, Mudd's furniture.
Mhm.
Whether it's a car wreck, an injury, a business dispute, that's our favorite law matter. Our attorneys are known for a relentless pursuit of perfection with an expectation of excellence. We are creative, consistent, and courageous. We are Norman Watson Poultry, dedicated to you, committed to justice. FWHlegal.com.
KWC returns home back to the Sports Center to take on IU Southeast. Wednesday night, 7 p.m. here on WBO. Join the voices of KWC. Vic Evans and Stephen A. Turner. Here comes the double team from Charlie. Gives him the wild extra pass. Kavion. Sniper in the corner. Three. Let's go! It's the Panthers versus the Grenadiers. Wednesday night, 7 p.m. on your home for KWC basketball. 94.7 WBO. Courtesy of James H. Davis Funeral Home.
There's an issue cutting through the bipartisan bickering in Congress. It's AM radio. The overwhelming majority of legislators, Democrats and Republicans, support a bill to keep AM radio in cars. But time is running out. Text AM to 52886 and ask Congress to bring this bill to the floor for a vote now. AM radio is too important to let this moment pass us by.
Message and data rates may apply. You may receive up to 4 messages a month, and you may text STOP to stop.
This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
Hey, Kentucky families, it's time to fall back into your child's school routine again. And that includes making sure they're up to date on the latest immunizations. Kentucky schools depend on every child staying up to date on the latest immunizations in order to protect the health and well-being of all children. Public health is a team sport, so let's stay in the game with community immunity. Call 855-598-2246 to find a provider near you. This message paid for by Kentucky Voices for Health, the Kentucky Broadcasters Association, and this station.
Welcome back to the Blue Pregame Show here on 102.7 The Game. We're also streaming live on Netflix. Oh, Netflix, jeevers. Boy, yeah, you can tell. You can tell us. We can talk about Netflix. You can tell us top of mind from all the stuff. We are not having issues as Netflix, but we are also streaming live on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch. This is beautiful day here in Kentucky. I actually just saw on Twitter someone said it's butt seat heater time. I don't know if it's that cold just yet, but I mean maybe this morning it was. This is a big weekend, big week obviously in Kentucky athletics. Kentucky beats Duke in the Champions Classic. That was a really exciting game. It's been kind of the talk of college basketball. I know it's been a big deal here in Kentucky. We're back, right? I mean, I sound like a lot of Miami fans for the last decades. We're back. We're back.
You're well trained in being back, aren't you?
Right, man. I mean, it's well trained. Yeah.
I mean, it kind of feels that way a little bit. It's kind of felt that way since the press conference.
It's good to see that the press conference has translated into something on the court as well.
It wasn't fake.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Like, it's him. It's the way he always talks. Like, it's not. He wasn't putting on a show for his first appearance, and it's.
Oh, he was definitely putting on a show. It was just his whole thing. His whole aura is a show.
Yeah. It was nothing different than the typical show, I guess, is the way I should have put that. But it's obviously super exciting. But the women go tonight.
Yeah. So big game tonight in Lexington. You have. I think it's 20th ranked UK women versus 18th ranked U of L women in basketball at Memorial. It is a big game. U of L lost to, I think it's top 5 or top 10 UCLA. UCLA. And so Louisville is 1-1. They have it's a top 5 close loss. What was it, 5 or 6 points, I believe, something like that. Yeah. This is the first big test for the Kentucky women's team. Obviously, new coach Kenny Brooks coming in, having a lot of the same excitement that that Pope has around that program. Obviously, Memorial Coliseum getting a really nice makeover. This is kind of the first real big basketball game from that perspective. That means something, right? In Memorial, since it's been redone, I'll be there covering the game tonight. So I'm doing the Kentucky football double today, which is kind of exciting.
If you're already in town for the football game, or you're looking for a reason to come to town and maybe throw on the football game, go to the women's game and go see the new Memorial.
Absolutely.
It's
Beautiful in there.
I don't know if there's any tickets left. I know that they had general admission. I don't know if there's tickets left for this game.
we were talking about those resale markets. Go get them.
Yeah.
They are there. There's
there's some.
there was some for over $100 on the resale
Oh,
market.
my. Wow.
Oh, okay, just kidding.
I mean,
Um,
it is beautiful in there, though. The renovations they've done are outstanding.
I'm excited. It's the first women's game that I've covered, so I'm excited from that perspective. It should be fun. It should be a really good atmosphere. The UK women's soccer team won their opening round match last night against West Virginia in the NCAA tournament in double overtime. On penalty kicks.
Yeah.
Penalty kicks. Yeah.
Everybody gave us all a heart attack.
Yeah, sorry. It was extra time. It wasn't double overtime. I don't know what I'm saying. I literally knew. I was like, I know the answer to that. I watch a lot of soccer. In extra time, went to PKs and won 4-2 on PKs. So the women advance. Very exciting times there. You have the UK men playing on Tuesday against Lipscomb. I think Rupp Arena is going to be fairly full, I would say,
agree.
for that. I think you have a lot of people that are excited. There's probably... I still think there was a little cautious optimism in the fan base around the basketball team. Not necessarily knowing what was going on. You kind of felt a little bit of angst in the first half against Duke. Now you feel now the whole fan base is insufferable, feeling like we're just going to go undefeated. So we went from give us some time to 40-0 in a matter of a half.
Yes, that's pretty much exactly.
It's
what
very
happened.
much,
that's pretty much exactly what had happened, and that is the winning cures all. It doesn't really matter how you look, it's so long as you win. And I mean, they looked good, but there were definitely, there's some overreaction, but they have earned a celebration on Tuesday.
Yeah, exactly.
We should
exactly
be there and give them a big celebration. Plus, we need to kind of beat the crap out of Lipscomb because Arkansas did not.
Right.
So if we can beat the crap out of them, that would make me feel.
Look, I know a lot of people would be like, "Oh, you're obsessed with Arkansas," but they've not looked good to me. And sure, like it's a little bit of the fact that there's ex-players and ex-coach there, but they are also a team that was picked to finish above Kentucky. And I feel like right now you're feeling like in the SEC, you're feeling like I think a lot of people are that Kentucky is probably better than they are.
I mean, yeah, and I want all of the common opponents that we play against, like the team. I want to beat everyone that we play that Louisville plays. I want to beat them by more than Louisville beat them. Like it's not just an Arkansas thing. It's just they happen to be a team that I watch relatively frequently, and I watched them play Lipscomb, and I think we could beat Lipscomb by more than they did.
Speaking of teams that we play that overlap, last night Alabama loses on the road.
Yeah.
Jaden was very much laughing about the possibility of this, and I was saying, hey, it's still going to be a good test because they're going there. It's not an easy place to play. On Friday, Jaden, would you like a towel for the egg that's on your face for that?
I mean, that's fine. I guess. I don't know. I'll still take Mark Sears over Purdue most times. Pretty much all times, actually. If they played again tomorrow, I'd still pick Alabama. So that's a good win for Purdue, though. It shows me that they can still put together a good game with that guy's injury. I still haven't yet to figure out his actual name. I just say the really tall guy. But the really tall guy got hurt, and they figured out how to still play with that injury and beat one of the best teams in the country.
87-78. Wisconsin also takes down Arizona last night, 103-88. So two top 10 teams go down last night, which is not something you see a whole lot of in college basketball. Florida survives a little bit of a scare against Florida State, 87-74. Ohio State and Texas A&M. Texas A&M did beat Ohio State.
Florida looks good.
Yeah, Florida does look pretty good. Texas A&M won by 14 over Ohio State in a top 25 matchup. It kind of hits all of the interesting games last night out of college basketball. The big news out of college football today is Kirk Kennedy gets a 10-year extension for $8 million a year at Indiana. I'm pretty sure Indiana sensed a lot of wolves around the program already.
They probably have the text messages.
From
Florida State.
Yeah, not Florida State. Listen, if you think that Mark Stoops' buyout is inhibitive, his buyout's $63 million. There's Norvell's not going anywhere. Yeah, but Norvell's not going anywhere either. Norvell's not going anywhere either. That someone said, Scott said about the women's game that it is sold out and the secondary prices are crazy. Which good for them. Good for them.
I mean,
$40. I mean, listen, $40 is a lot for a women's game, though.
Yeah, but I mean,
traditionally,
I would pay that.
We'll have to see how
we're
Are we all going? Are we all going to go to this?
We'll
Are we all going to go?
Yes,
We'll see. There's a better chance I go to the women's game than the men's game.
On Tuesday?
The football game.
We'll-
I will be at the men's game on Tuesday.
We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
We'll talk. We're gonna. Listen. Jaden will be there. I promise. It'll be me, Jaden, and Kendall sitting there.
I actually
Just us three.
am going to be at the hockey game. Well, not at the hockey game. Doing the UK hockey game tonight.
What time
From
is
your
that
couch?
at?
5 o'clock. Yes, from my couch.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
I am not making the trip.
Speaking
But
of hockey, big news. Hockey is now full Division 1
Yes.
next year.
Yes.
Very exciting. We're gonna have the coaches on next week sometime. We're trying. It's been a busy week for them, so we're trying to match schedules up.
schedule
From
is
that,
very interesting.
Stephen Peak from KSR is going to be coming on the show next week as well to be talking Kentucky football and basketball. So we've got some fun on our live show. If you don't follow along on at Bleed B Network, we do a live show every day at 1 p.m. Eastern. So we're gonna have some interesting guests on, but we also post them usually also on Spotify. Not everyone. Some of the shows just aren't as entertaining enough to post, so we just don't. just let them die.
Well, some of them are silent for 25 minutes. So
Yeah. Or you have
That's
Jaden.
awkward, Jaden.
You have Jaden whose computer just hates him.
I mean, you have some.
Listen, all you have to know if you're watching the live show, look at the two computers with the two best looking people, and then look at this one. All right, he's goofy, and look, and there's no Apple
Poor
on his
Jaden.
computer. Just look at it.
it works.
You had
it
some
works,
fans.
It works better for
There
a
were
college
like
student.
100 viewers on when you
There
talked
was,
in
and
silence.
It was, and the numbers kept growing. Nobody was leaving.
They're
He
like,
was
this is
saying
the best
things.
show Bleed Blue Network has ever put on. I can't
Nobody's
hear a
talking.
thing.
This is
the best show. It's just miming.
Why don't they just mute their mics all the time? This is what I wanted.
Yeah, it's okay though.
All right, I am very excited about Kentucky going full Division 1. I am a huge hockey fan.
I
You
am
are.
too.
We are gonna like next
feel
year.
like
We're
not a lot
gonna
of people know that about me.
we're gonna be. Kindle next year will 100% want to cover all the games.
They're so
We might fight
exciting.
though for that.
The only unfortunate thing is I know it's their thing, but they're all at the puck drop is at midnight.
Yeah, but I don't think that's gonna happen. Can still happen though.
I don't
That's
think
going to be
so
a good
either.
question because when
It's-
you're actual Division 1, like, are they going to continue to
have to
play
have-
at the
yeah.
Ice Center? Are we going to build something on
Right,
campus? Like,
right.
there's a lot of these things because now if you're a
Lots of
full-on
things.
Division 1 team, you've got to have facilities.
Right.
Where can you play? Like, where are they going to play? Like, yeah, we know Rupp can hold it. How fun! We talked about this on the live show the other day. How fun would it be if Kentucky gets like a traditional hockey power to come down?
Absolutely.
You know, a Michigan, an Ohio State, Boston,
Mhm.
Boston College. One of those types of teams to come down and play, and you pack Rupp with 20,000 people. That would be super exciting for hockey, and I love hockey, so I mean, I'm never going to say no to that. So those are like some interesting questions
Yeah.
I think that we have to ask them. You know, there's some room on campus that potentially maybe they could put something out there, and I think it would be really exciting from that perspective.
And if you don't already follow them on Instagram, I help them out over there too. And they are recently going through a new page build up. So go follow Kentucky Hockey Club for now. That's their page that they've got going over there if you don't already.
Scott says Kentucky, college hockey at Rupp would be awesome. I 100%
That
agree.
would be so
Even
cool.
if it was the upper deck wasn't,
Yeah, if
even
they
if it was
dropped the
just the
curtains.
lower, they dropped
Yeah.
the curtains and it was just the
It would
lower.
be
That'd
so
still be 10,000 people for
With
ice
eruption.
hockey.
And
Yeah.
like
The
people
eruption
would
zone.
Well,
do
you can't get the eruption zone there.
No.
You wouldn't have enough room. They
They
would be out.
wouldn't.
I guess you could make an eruption zone just
Make an
behind,
eruption,
right
yeah.
behind the bench. That whole
Yeah.
section going up.
And students love the hockey games.
They're
so
super
fun.
fun.
Only
They're
Hockey
so fun.
hockey's
Yeah,
really
exactly.
fun. Hockey is one of my is probably my favorite live sport. Well, playoff hockey is my favorite live
Oh,
sport.
it's so good.
The Friday night hockey games, like they turn away as many people as they let
Yeah,
in. And it's all students.
The lines start, like I said, games start at midnight. The lines start lining up at like 9:30,
Yeah.
10 p.m.
I've been in line at 8 p.m. before for a hockey game.
Yeah.
We'll talk a little bit more about some of this stuff. Also, we'll get to the Kentucky game. There's a Kentucky football game today. We still got an hour left of the show, though, so we got plenty to talk about. We'll be right back. If you want, you can get involved through the live stream on YouTube, on Twitter, on Facebook, in the comment section. If you want to, you've probably heard us already calling people out. It's not just been our imaginary friends doing that. You can also text us on the Bleed Blue text line. It's 859-412-2090 if you have questions or comments about anything we're talking about. We will be right back. You're listening to the Bleed Blue football pregame show here on 102.7 The Game.
Insurance, we understand that because we put in the hard work and dedication for decades. That commitment is paid off. With award-winning customer service for your auto, home, and life insurance. For auto, home, life, or business insurance, see Shelter Agent 80 Step into the crisp embrace of celebrate the season's charm with our exclusive
Just gets really warm
menu.
here.
Wrap your hands around a warm cup of spiced latte or explore the rich velvety layers of our salted caramel macchiato with an optional apple twist. For a truly unique treat, indulge in our maple pancake latte. It's more than just coffee, it's an autumn experience. Come in and let every sip connect you to the heart of fall. The Grim Coffee House, downtown Owensboro on 2nd Street.
Welcome back to the Bleed Blue Football Pregame Show here on 102.7 The Game. I'm Paul with Jaden and Kendall. If you're watching on the live stream, hi. If you're listening to us all across the Bluegrass, thank you for joining us. We are excited to be here talking a lot of Kentucky athletics overall, not just talking about Kentucky football today, talking about the women. The women's game is sold out. Very exciting for that today. It's very rare do you get to do any kind of football and basketball double. So I think that's really exciting. Obviously, you can kind of walk there if you need to or whatever. It's close, so that's exciting. And we were talking before the break, the big news about Kentucky hockey getting full Division I status. So that's another actually full Division I sport for Kentucky that we're going to have. Are we going to have women's hockey too, or is it just men?
As far as I'm aware, it's just men. Yeah.
Women's
Well, you
hockey.
got to think that women's hockey is probably not far behind, especially if
No.
we build a facility.
Right.
It'll come with your stupid. There's got to be a women's sport
somewhere.
Because of
I thought we had more women's sports than men's sports at Kentucky. I thought we had one.
Yeah, you have to
You have
because
to.
the football.
I thought it had to be even.
You just have to give the same resources.
Yeah.
And since football gets so many scholarships, a bunch of
well,
have to.
that is a thing that we
Now
can talk about now on football scholarships because the NCAA or whatever SEC, the invisible gods in the sky decided that we are no longer going to plan for 105 scholarships. We're going to plan for 85, and it has thrown a little bit of a loop in the plans of not just Kentucky, but a few SEC programs.
It's very frustrating. I would imagine the people at the football facility are very frustrated. I think that they thought they had a lot of flexibility and a lot of ability to add really good pieces without having to lose pieces that they like, and that's probably not going to be possible anymore. It's definitely going to hurt the team next season as far as the depth and the talent and things, and they're going to have some tough decisions and tough conversations. And Stoops said they had a big personnel meeting right after this news came out. That was the who are we going to tell to leave?
Yeah.
Who is going to have to leave that we didn't want to leave? Which recruiter are we not going to be able to take anymore?
And you've already saw decommitment Kentucky had. I think some of that. I think it probably has to do a little bit of both, a little bit of LSU, a little bit of the fact that now we're a little bit more log jammed. I do feel like that was probably a recruit that would have been a nice to have, not a need to have. I think our top probably 10 players are still a lock. I don't think anybody's really saying that there's a big issue with us losing guys.
LSU wants Cedric Words.
Yeah, well, they can want anybody they want.
Yeah, well, the problem is if LSU wants them, they get a lot more.
Problem is Brian Kelly's still the coach of LSU, so.
I don't want to say it, but do people think better things about our coach?
Yeah, a lot.
Right.
Yeah, I would say yes. Brian Kelly also, listen, no matter what you say about Mark Stoops, he has thrown significantly less temper tantrums in post-game press conferences.
Talking about football wins.
I'm talking about personality and everything.
Okay.
Yeah,
that is something that you don't see very often from him. Any kind of
personality,
huge,
longevity, culture, all those things, right?
You don't see him losing his crap all the time.
But this is fine though. I have no problem. I would honestly not care if he headbutted a ref at some point. Huh?
Whenever he retires on his farewell tour,
Just knock one
at
out.
Tennessee,
Good.
just start decking dudes.
Yeah.
Just
I think you have to.
well, it's fair. Obviously, you saw Tennessee. If it's on the sidelines, it doesn't count. You can hit anybody you want.
Exactly.
This is a very good point.
Yeah.
We
So
need to
if you're at Neyland and you're on the sideline, you deck someone.
Yeah.
It's fair game.
You can also say insufferable things there, and it just slides right on by. You're all good.
Yeah, that's probably not for
It's a
an
story for
ESPN
another
radio
day.
conversation. That's for our live show where we can really say how we really feel about those insufferable people. Orange just doesn't bring out good. I just don't see anything that's like makes you go orange. You know,
trying to think
It's
of
not
the
my
best,
color of
best
choice.
orange things. It's not a lot of them. There's a Home Depot out on my computer right now. I'll give them one orange.
oh, okay, well there you go.
But I
Built by
hate-
the Home Depot. College game day built by the Home Depot.
Yep.
I hate Tennessee.
Today, Kentucky obviously is it's the get right game. I believe Maxwell Harrison's back, so that's going to be good to get him kind of back in the game flow. There's a couple of guys I don't know are playing today. I haven't heard anything. I've been kind of like going on Twitter just to see if anything's kind of leaked out. Or Deion Walker, I'm not sure if Deion's playing today or not. Again, I have no inside information on if he's playing or not. I just little rumblings here and there. If he is dinged up, I would say this is a really good game for him not to play in. I would expect Jamarian Wilcox to probably have a very big game today. I would probably expect that we would see all four quarterbacks at some point during the game. I would bet if I was a betting man, you probably won't see Brock Vandegrift a ton today. I think you're going to see a lot of Cutter Boley. I think you'll see a little bit of Gavin, a little bit of Brock, a lot of Cutter, and a little bit of Bo Allen. That would be my guess. If you see a lot of either of the other two, I am concerned.
Yeah, the only really thing I think that could change from that is just letting Cutter go and not going to Bo is the only thing that I think could be different.
I think they'll give Bo.
I think they will.
I think they'll give Bo.
But the only thing I could see them also just going Cutter.
I think they'll give Bo Allen
I hope they give
some
Bo a
play.
chance.
I do. I mean, he's been here a long time. He's been a good
He's been
steward.
here. He's not been here. He's been here. I feel like he deserves to get a chance to.
He should be. He should definitely get a
Friend
shot
of
to
the
play
program.
today. Yeah,
Oh, this
friend
just
of
popped
the.
up. Kentucky Louisville sold out was on my main screen of my computer. So.
You just forgot to hit it before we started talking about it.
Well, it just popped up. It's like a sliding little thing of the different things
Like
that it wants
breaking
me to
news
see.
type
Yeah.
vibes.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I'm just kind of scrolling through Twitter. Kirk
Oh,
Herbstreit has a new dog.
Is it
Pete? Is it Pete? I think.
I don't know. I'm just finding out about this
Well,
dog.
wait,
Oh, look at Memorial all decked out.
I'm telling
You
you,
see that?
It is
So
beautiful
I'm just if you haven't had if you go to the women's page, I'll also retweet it here.
Oh, so cute.
right?
Oh my goodness.
Right? Yeah, I'm excited to see it.
White pom poms on all the seats for the game. Look how that's gonna look. Memorial's gonna look amazing tonight. Every seat's got a white pom pom all over the place. They're decked out for a big game tonight. I'm really excited. That's going to be visually amazing, I think, for the game tonight. Just shared it on Bleed Bee Network, but also you can see it on the women's Twitter page. So that's going to be exciting. Kentucky's men's team. Kentucky football is also wearing the white combination today. I think that's one of my favorite uniform combinations as well. Nice and clean. Nice, clean look.
I mean, yeah. Keeping it basic, keeping it easy.
Yeah. Can we? I just have a request. If we can not ever wear black and blue and all that stuff, like.
Okay, so the black uniforms were really cool, and then they redid the uniforms, and the new black ones I think are terrible.
Mm-hmm.
They need to stop wearing black unless they're going to go all black.
All black. I so
go
agree.
all black or don't do it.
And just a black uniform, like you can't see the letters or the numbers because they're blue. Like they blend in.
At least outline them.
Yeah, they do a lot of good things over at the football facility uniform wise. The new black ones was a
They're not my favorite. They are not my favorite. But I would like it if they are going to do it to go all black.
Agreed.
Yes.
That would be my preference to go all black. Yes.
What's expected when you say we're wearing black today?
Yeah, exactly. Like black, blue, black, blue. Obviously, was a new uniform combo. I'm just not a huge fan of that.
Right. I would also love to see us do the more elaborate uniform announcements as other schools
Yes.
do.
Do it before the
Yes.
season.
It would be amazing.
Do what
Like
before
everybody
you? Oh,
announce the
record them.
uniforms.
Did Tennessee didn't announce the blackout game against us,
they
did they?
announced it early on.
Yeah.
Like Ole Miss announces it like a month before. Like they announced the stripe out before the
Got-
season at Ole Miss.
I
Like,
do
Yeah.
feel like
They
we are
do
way
that stuff-
behind
they
on
do that
that.
stuff
We
before
are
the
that
game.
kind of stuff. For sure.
I don't know why we're way behind on that, but I do feel like we are a little bit behind on the uniform.
Well, because
stuff.
Max Duffy says they go to the best player on Thursday and ask him what
And
uniform
say,
they're wearing,
Hey, what you want to wear?
and that's how they decide what they're wearing.
Yeah, and all the other places just say you're wearing this.
Exactly.
much.
They
Yeah,
have
that's how-
some-
That's
how-
the way it's been described by Max on his podcast.
That's how we should definitely do things. I think
I agree.
moving forward is or
Have
let
the
them vote,
marketing team
or
figure it out.
yeah, let them
That's-
or have player input. Just do it before the season.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do it in July.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. Like in some aspects, you want to you don't want to have a blackout and it's a noon game. But I mean, again, now
You
with
kinda
Tennessee or with ESPN, if it's a flex game, a night game, and all that. So if it's 3:30 in late October, it's probably going to be a very much night game by the second half anyway.
Let's be honest. Home games in October are at night in Lexington. Like with
Yeah.
Keeneland,
Yeah.
we always play at night in October. You know that. Like you knew Georgia was going to be at night.
When's the
a
last
long
time we've played an afternoon game in October?
I thought it wasn't allowed.
I don't think.
Really?
No.
I feel like I've heard that I don't know if it's necessarily written
Like-
on paper, but like
Of an
they don't.
unspoken rule
Yeah,
kind
they
of
don't.
thing.
They don't let us play.
Because
I'm
it's
sure
competing.
somebody's gonna pull it up. We played a 3:30 game in October last year, but like this is vibes more than this is like scuttlebutt and rumors and stuff that they just play night games when Keeneland's in session.
Kindle's literally just
I
going to
need to
look to
know
see if
because
Yeah,
if
I'm gonna
you're
get
right or
clipped
wrong
on Twitter,
this.
and they're gonna have played an October afternoon game every single year for the past 20 years. But
I don't remember. I actually don't remember
well,
one.
we go the.
I mean,
the
outside
Keeneland
of like
doubleheader.
an
Yeah,
away game, maybe.
Well, yeah,
Yeah, an
that's
away
it, like,
game,
night
but not-
games. I feel like we always play at night in Lexington in the middle of the year.
I feel like we played a lot of night games.
We play
We
Louisville
have
at like noon or 3:30 if it's in Lexington.
Well,
It
no,
feels like it's
this is
same
the first time we played Louisville, not at noon. Like we've played Louisville at night usually in Louisville. And
Yeah,
we've played them
and
at
we played
noon
them-
here, and this is the first time in a game in Lexington in a while that I know that it's going to be a 3:30 or later game.
Did they officially announce which one it is? Whether it's
They have
3:30
not. So Texas next week is at 3:30. So that's definitely there. But they have not announced the game against Louisville. I think that's tomorrow or
Probably.
Tuesday. So we'll know. I think we'll know this week what time that game is. Are you hoping for a night game? It's been a
Yeah,
while since
actually.
we've had a night
Yeah,
game against Louisville here.
I'll say sure. I want a night
That
game. I don't
push
know.
or snow.
We might get a.
As Coach Stoop says, you can have some beverages. It
Well-
might help. It'll probably help tick up the intensity a
I
little
don't know
bit.
if I need ticked up intensity for Louisville.
I
They
know.
suck.
Just the overall, it's
Well, we'll probably get a news clip of him saying how much night games suck.
what.
Yeah.
When is the last time we played a night game against Louisville here?
I've never been to a Louisville football game because I'm always at families.
I think we've played.
It's the
So
only
I
team I've
know.
ever seen.
I know we
Really?
played in the Joker era. We played a night game against Louisville here, and we lost. It was,
Yeah, we lost. It was Joker.
but it was kind of like a little bit of a surprise because it was Louisville wasn't good,
Oh,
and yeah.
this is a little before I totally remember details, but
I'm trying to remember. I can't remember the last time Kentucky played a night game.
I've never watched a
Here.
Louisville game anywhere but Owensboro, Kentucky. So
This is going to be a first for you.
it will
huh?
be a first. It'll be the first time I've ever been at a Louisville game.
Oh, so you're going to be insufferable that whole day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna be very upset.
Just all
they
day,
give me a
just
bad, they put me in
angry.
a bad mood until we win.
Just literally just. "Grr."
Yeah, pretty much. That's how I feel about Murray State right now. Very, very angry with Murray State. I hate you. No, I don't. I'm rooting for you.
Good place to take a break. We'll be right back.
to $20.40 per hour for production workers and an extra $1 per hour for second shift. Excellent benefits at low costs. Apply at attcmfg.com/careers or in person at 10455 State Road 37, Tell City. At ATTC, our top priority is quality, caring for our employees, customers, and community. Shuffle into champion Ford like a boss. Imagine your dream Ford vehicle right there. Call it your name, and guess what? It's got them all. F-150s, Broncos, Super Duties, Escapes, even Bronco Sports. What? We've got it. We're the #1 selling truck hub. So, what are you waiting for? Shop online at championmotorspro.com. Champion Ford, proud sponsor of Davis County Player of the Week and KWC Athletics. Your Ford dreams come alive.
This is very confusing. Welcome back to the Bleed Blue Kentucky Football Pregame Show here on 102.7 The Game. We still got 45 minutes almost left in the show.
You have 45 minutes worth of things to say about Murray State.
I got nothing to say. We'll definitely get into I think at the top of the hour we'll really get into some more football conversation. But
Murray State fans are excited. They're excited
Are
to be
they?
here.
Are they?
Of my entire, all
Family?
of my friends and family from actually everybody but my family. Sorry, I'm so far. If you're my family, I know you're watching. You should have came.
Well,
But
look,
all of Murray State campus is here. They're really excited to be in Lexington.
oh, so that's going to be a big crowd.
They
then.
know that they're gonna. Well, I wouldn't say big. Like Murray State's campus is like a quarter of ours.
How many people are we talking? How many Murray State fans?
Over or under 5,000.
Oh, I don't know.
Will it be the most road fans we've had at a game?
No. Georgia's going to get that one by far, I think, this year.
I think the students are really excited.
Auburn actually traveled really well.
They did.
Actually.
They did.
Actually,
we sold our tickets really well.
But yeah, no, the students are really excited to be here to see Murray State play at Kroger Field. All the things. Most kids grow up Kentucky fans anyways, so.
Joe said that you are correct that all games during October during Keeneland are after 7.
Yeah, there was something like that.
Confirmed.
I know a thing. It's probably the only thing I'll say that's correct on the show, but I've read a stat before.
So quickly before we really start moving on, what is your prediction for the women's game today?
Cats by 11.
Do you have a score prediction?
77-66.
Just pulled that right out of your backside, didn't you?
There's a lot of numbers that went into that.
Yeah, really?
I Googled what the spread is. There wasn't one on Google.
Well,
It said we think Kentucky will win by 6. So I said, screw you, we're going to win by 11. And the number was made up though.
So the only number that went into it was the fact that you probably looked down and saw 7 on your computer, and that was like, oh yeah, I'll go with that.
No, I had more confidence in us than the person online did.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fair.
Awesome.
Are you going?
Well, I didn't totally know. So we'll see what the student ticket situation is.
I think it's sold out. I got an
Like
email. I was trying to read
tickets?
through it in the break about the media stuff. I got to try and figure out the seating chart thing. Because
I can explain that to you.
All right, fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, great. I can't wait. Can't wait to be just lost, roaming around like a big dummy, walking around Memorial. Where am I going, guys?
So, yeah, they've pretty much taken the entire memorial and switched it. So how all of the club level seating and all that stuff was, you walk in the front doors and it's on the back. It's all flipped. So you walk in your main entrance right there across from the Wildcat statue and stuff.
I'm gonna guess that I'm not gonna get in a suite or club seats today.
Well, I didn't figure, but just in case you were wondering.
He knows a guy. You
Do
pull
I?
string.
Do I?
I don't know. I don't know a guy.
Uh,
I'm not going to be in a suit.
I don't know
Yeah,
anybody.
they basically took and just flipped it completely backwards. It looks fabulous.
It does look awesome.
It should be pretty awesome today, also for just the recruiting for Kenny Brooks, showing that what the BBN actually does, and it's not just always for men's basketball. Do they play a Rupp game this year? They usually do. I feel like
let's do a Google search.
Usually it's a bigger game, and they play 2 top 10 teams we know of at home this year.
They play South Carolina.
Well, they don't play South Carolina. It's usually South Carolina or Tennessee, but they also play Texas. And who's the other one that in the top 25 they play?
I don't know if this website is giving me what I'm looking for as far as rankings.
Yeah, you can go, but you should be able to go on. They don't play in Rupp this year?
No.
Oh, they play North Carolina.
Every home game.
Illinois is ranked.
Yeah, this website's not giving me rankings, which is very
unfortunate. Yeah, this is wrong because it says we play
Texas. We play Texas and LSU at home. So if you go to the women's site, you should see if there's
LSU almost lost the other night. Something bad. I'm sure you were very interested in that, but
I'm looking it up to see. Usually we do play a women's
it's not listed on the schedule on UK's website.
Really?
It's unless I am blind.
You could be.
I have recently invested in glasses.
Yeah, it's not shown.
It just says historic memorial.
Yeah, I'm going to. I mean, look, since they renovated it, they may not do a Rupp game. Nope, I did not see a Rupp Arena on there at all. So I guess not. I guess they.
On UK. They should play.
But look, they have a beautiful new arena too. So like that was the other reason why they would play a Rupp game, because Memorial was a little bit run down. It was very dated, and it was a big step up. Now you have Memorial. That's probably one of the nicer women's facilities in the country.
For sure.
I'm just thinking it'd be fun to pack 20,000 instead of what even is Memorial now? Didn't they get rid of some seats, or did they add a couple seats? I can't even remember which direction they went in the renovation, but it's not 20,000. So it'd be cool if they could pack 20,000.
8,500.
Yeah,
for Memorial.
Yeah, and I think that if it wasn't on a football Saturday with early in the season, they could maybe do a Louisville and Rupp and pack the whole thing, kind of something like that in Tennessee at Rupp, but they're not. But like you said, Memorial is awesome now, and they don't need to play in Rupp anymore. So that's probably the thought process of going into that.
I mean, I feel like that there's no reason to do that.
Right.
Are there any football games you are excited to watch today outside of Kentucky?
Was going to get into that a little bit, but sure, we can talk. So interesting games today. Texas and Arkansas. That's an old rivalry. Texas goes on the road to Arkansas. You've got interesting in the ACC. You've got Clemson at Pitt. Clemson, if they lose it, they're pretty much out of the ACC title race or title game.
Pitt was really good, and then they got really bad all of a sudden. So I don't really know what happened there. But yeah, Pitt does not look good going into that game.
I think Virginia at Notre Dame could be a sneaky game. I know Notre Dame's heavily favored, but Virginia's actually been kind of sneaky good this season. So that's interesting. You got LSU going to Florida. I actually think Florida might get them. It's only a 3-point spread, and it's in the Swamp. And Florida's been playing well.
Is Lagway playing?
Yeah, Lagway's playing. You have South Carolina or Missouri at South Carolina. I don't know why Drinkwitz was saying playoffs last week. I feel like that was a dumb thing. I'm pretty sure I like South Carolina's 13-point favorites.
I don't think Brady Cook's playing.
I don't like Missouri in that game whatsoever. Arizona State at Kansas State in the Big 12. That's kind of an elimination game. Both teams are 7-2 and 4-2 in the conference. Tennessee and Georgia is obviously the very big game today. Georgia's favored by 9. I think that's low. I think Georgia's going to win by. I think Georgia wins this game handedly. Nico's out.
They were saying he's playing on game day.
What?
Yeah,
they said he was out.
I know
3 days ago.
I know they did.
What is going on with Oh yeah, they're out. No, they're starting.
I'll do another Google search, but they said that on.
There's
Maybe I misheard. Yeah, he's listed as questionable. He's continued to practice. And
it's ESPN just said. ESPN just said source has not just said, but it says Nico cleared to play versus Georgia.
Yeah,
interesting.
But
that's interesting. I still like Georgia in Athens, though.
The only thing that scares me is that Georgia offensive line, for some reason, is not good. and
No.
Tennessee's defensive line is very good. Georgia cannot run the ball pretty much at all, and you saw it last week. Carson Beck's getting strip sacked 3 times a game.
Yeah, but also I would say
that's the kind of thing that can flip a game where maybe you don't have an advantage, where maybe Georgia's the better team, is getting a strip sack or a scoop and score kind of thing. Forcing a rushed pass for an interception. That's the kind of thing that can
I just like
in.
Georgia in Athens. If this game was in Knoxville, I'd say it's a little bit different. But I like Georgia and Athens a lot, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I'm taking Georgia too. I'm just saying.
So that's
that is the part that would scare me.
It doesn't scare me. Not in Athens. I mean, look, I might turn the game on later and be like, "Oh, look, you don't know football still." But yeah, Georgia's also kind of playing for their playoff lives.
So is Tennessee a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, Tennessee's schedule is not nearly as hard as Georgia's.
They're in either way, but people seem to be iffy about that. So I would, if I was in the Tennessee locker room, I would be saying, they don't believe in you. Go show them why they should believe.
There's just a big log jam.
Yeah. Well, they were talking on game day. There's the 8-team SEC tie possibility. If just like a couple games like happen in like very reasonable games go a certain way, they could have like 6, 7, 8 team ties to win for the SEC.
That gets messy.
That would be so much fun. They did not account for the possibility of everyone having 2 losses when they made the tiebreakers.
Yeah, they're like, Georgia's not losing 2.
There's no way Texas loses 2. But they did. Or well, they would if the scenario happened. But
their second loss comes next week.
Do what?
Their second loss comes next week.
Oh yeah, I like that.
Yeah, it's happening. They're gonna face a Kentucky team that's gonna come and just tear them up in Austin. They're not ready for what's about to happen. We did look at the schedule, and Kentucky might be like the second or third best team that they played all year.
Somehow this might be true, just on paper.
Yeah, I mean, hey, we'll definitely talk a little bit. My belief in Kentucky next week is a lot stronger than your belief in Kentucky next week. Not necessarily to win, but to be competitive.
Yeah. We'll talk more about it leading up. They should be competitive, but
that hurt Jaden to even say.
They should be.
Yeah.
But they've really shown the ability to not do.
We're gonna talk a lot next week also about top 10 wins and competitive kind of games that we've been. Look, if this team played any other schedule in a lot of ways, I think they're probably 6-3, 7-2. We wouldn't be thinking some of the things, but the schedule ended up being as hard as people thought. I didn't think it was going to be this daunting, and it ended up being like it. But anyway. I don't know anything, so
if they would just do like normal football things and beat Auburn, Florida, and Vandy, then we wouldn't be in this spot.
Problem.
Correct. We'll be right back. We're going to talk more about the Jaden's just got all worked up right before a commercial.
So frustrated.
He is now full blown angry. So we're going to go to break so he has a minute to calm down. We're going to talk more about the stats about the Murray State Kentucky game, give you our picks, some picks to some of the big games around college football today, and we will be right back on 102.7 The Game.
Feel the power of the road beneath you. Rick's Tire and Service can make it possible. Offering comprehensive car care from front-end repair and brake work to air conditioning and diagnostic services. We're more than just tires. Elevate your ride with our range of aftermarket accessories. Get those wheels, tires, level up with lift kits, sleep bumpers, bed covers, and running boards. Even lights? You bet. At Rick's, we customize your vehicle to reflect your style. Rick's Tire and Service, the place where we turn your car from basic to fantastic.
St. Camilla's Urgent Care and Family Practice is here for all your primary and urgent care needs. Visit stcamillasurgentcare.com to view our list of services, including complete primary care needs, COVID screenings, minor surgeries, minor illness treatments, sports and school physicals, routine screenings, flu shots, and more. With locations in Owensboro, Lewisport, Hardingsburg, and Litchfield, St. Camillus is your hometown provider for all your primary and urgent care and family needs. Visit stcamillasurgentcare.com.
Hi, this is Travis Sultry from Foreman Watson Poultry. Whether it's a car wreck, an injury, a business dispute, criminal defense, or a family law matter, our attorneys are known for a relentless pursuit of perfection with an expectation of excellence. We are creative, consistent, and courageous. We are Foreman Watson Holtree, dedicated to you, committed to justice. FWHlegal.com.
Great news for our local athletes who play Friday night games. You now have access to walk-in sports medicine care from Owensboro Health on Saturday, as well as weekdays. But you don't have to be an athlete to benefit from convenient orthopedic walk-in care at the Owensboro Health Sports Medicine Walk-in Clinic. Open 8 to 11 a.m. Monday through Saturday at the Pleasant Valley Medical Building in Owensboro. Learn more at owensborohealth.org/Owensboro Walk-in.
Welcome back. You're in the last 30 minutes of the Bleed Blue Kentucky Football Pregame Show here on 102.7 The Game. Also streaming live on Twitter, Facebook, Twitch, Instagram, and YouTube. Jaden, you have got all the nerdy stat facts about why we are sitting over here talking about a lot of things besides some of the game today. And you can kind of run through why we're sitting here thinking that this game should not be close.
Yeah, so obviously Murray State is an FCS game this year for our team. FCS is in theory like a step below FBS, but that's more of a resources thing. It's not always the case. There's a little overlap. They are in the bottom 25 in FCS in points per game allowed. This is all the defense. Points per game, yards per play, yards per rush, yards per attempt, third down conversion rate, and turnovers. It's so bad. It's just that I don't want to be so mean, but they gave up 70 points to North Dakota, 60s all over the place, 50s all over the place. Dear. The last two times they've played a Power 4 team, Louisville and Missouri, they got shut out both times, and both teams scored 50. I am sorry that I had to be so mean to your team, to your family and friends there for a second, but unfortunately they struggle with the game of football. That's
kind of been an occurring fact for Racer football. I'm more of a Racer basketball fan since I was very, very young. But football we've never really been that big into, but you can't lie with the facts.
I mean, yeah, the quarterback, it's not in front of me now, but yesterday I saw he's thrown more. Yeah. Oh, it's because I'm on the rushing stats. That's why I can't see it. Yeah, he's thrown more interceptions than touchdowns.
It's really unfortunate.
Their leading rusher averages 45.7 rushing yards a game. Juwan Northington, if that's a name that anyone remembers from the recruiting cycles a couple years ago. But yeah, the quarterback runs a lot. That is what they do. They love to run.
When he throws more interceptions than touchdowns, I probably would too.
Yes, but they love to run the ball. So I think that's an important thing about who's playing on defense, and I don't know if we have any updates further on JJ, De'Eric, DJ, anybody really.
Yeah, I've not seen anything.
And I don't even know that you can take the game. You would think that you would figure out who is healthy from the game, but they might just have people not play to either A, throw off Texas, or B, recover further. So I don't know. I think if we have all of our players, assuming that everyone's back from injury that is not out for the year, it's not a good matchup for Murray State trying to run into this defense when it's healthy.
I'm like scrolling through just random weird things. Have you guys also seen the Beaver Stadium?
That's probably not what I would start off conversation.
Scrolling through weird random things. Y'all seen the Beaver State?
Have you seen the Beaver Stadium for Penn State, the renovation that they're about to have? Well, that stadium is about to look ginormous.
Yeah, and when I was looking at the Indiana coaching or the Indiana coach extension that they gave him, they also planned a renovation for Indiana.
Look at that.
So they're spending
that's
all of the
absurd.
money.
Look at that.
How many seats is it?
Over 100,000. Right?
Oh, it's already over.
I think it's already over 100,000. Well, I don't know if it's over 100,000 seats, but they fit over 100,000 in there.
Okay, current 106.5.
It's going to go over 107, I think.
It's crazy.
Has there been a game in Kentucky history that would put 107,000 people in the stadium? Like if we could fit it. Would Georgia in 2018, would we have gotten 107,000?
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
Because a bunch of Georgia fans would have came.
That LSU game when Kentucky was 5-0, I bet we would have gotten 100,000 for that one.
Right after the Florida, 21 after Florida.
Florida last year might have got it. The Florida games the last 4 or 5 years probably would have. I think
like LSU in 07.
LSU in 07 would have.
Maybe
Louisville in 07 definitely would have. I think you probably would have gotten over 100,000 for.
Now we're getting before.
No. I think that Alabama game that they won in overtime.
Yes,
I think you would have gotten it from that. I think there's a long list. You would have gotten 80, 85. Oh, there's a much longer list than for that than 100.
Right.
But I'm glad they didn't fall into the Louisville trap of thinking they could sell out a bigger stadium.
They can.
Yeah, but they don't.
Our stadium, Kentucky, I think should be somewhere around 75. I think that would be the sweet spot for us. And the thing is people don't realize is we were getting 75,000 before the renovation because that place was like a sardine can. They just packed them in there. And I think if you look at, I don't know if you've ever looked at this.
Is that even legal anymore? Are there regulations for that now? Probably not.
I don't think so. But if you kind of look through, and I'm going to see if I can find it real quick.
How many games have been completely full this year?
Every game. Every game's been sold out this year. I mean, every game's been full. Every game's been full.
I agree.
I mean,
game was
Southern Miss was full. Ohio was not necessarily full, but all the SEC games has been full. Nobody believes me on that.
I've seen some bleachers in some corners. Yeah, but I mean, obviously, it's been a frustrating season, so I don't blame people. And I mean, I'm not. Yeah, it's not the.
Today will not be full.
I bet there'll be more people there today than people think. It's also first responders game.
Yeah.
45.
Yeah.
It's first responders game.
So what do they announce it at? If it's actually
106,000.
I think it probably gets announced at like 46 and is like 38, something like that.
All right, so here we go. Kroger Field history by the numbers. Let's look at this.
What is your prediction for the game where we had the most people
this year?
For just ever.
That we would. What game?
Yeah, because do you not have the list of the most people with games?
Trying to.
Did you have to have a subscription for that website?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that was very unfortunate.
Yeah.
Do we have a prediction for what is the most attended? So there's more seats now than the renovation. So like
there's less seats now.
Less seats now.
Yeah.
Okay. So is it 07 LSU?
I'm trying to remember. I found this once before. I'm trying to find the. I'm trying to find the. I know I saw it at one time.
There's got to be a stat.
There we go.
The largest crowd at Commonwealth Stadium watched Kentucky lose 52-24 in Georgia in 2022 or 2002 against Georgia. I was at that game.
Well, that was 4 days before my birthday.
I was at that game. That was Georgia was fourth. Georgia was ranked fourth. That was Green was the quarterback. Kentucky was winning 24-21 at halftime. Did not score another point. After that, that was one of those. Have you seen the game?
Not scoring a second half point.
Yeah. J-Lo, the hefty lefty, was quarterback. It was a really fun first half. The second half kind of sucked. I was at that game. That was actually that was the first ever Kentucky game I ever went to. Kentucky
how
football
about that?
game.
That's an interesting question. What's the first? You know what the first one you ever went to is?
When I came to school here.
Oh well, yeah, that would do it. I'm trying to think. I went to one as a kid. Some Randall Cobb games as a kid, somewhere in there. I don't know if I necessarily remember who we played.
It was that. I've been to almost every game since then. Every big game. I did miss the Tennessee game, the Matt Roark game. Did not get to that game. That was the only game that season I missed too, and I forget why I missed it. I think it was a family thing.
Missed the one joy.
The one, yeah, it was the one joy that season.
Oh my gosh.
The Matt Rourke game. It was like, oh yeah, there's going to be a wide receiver playing a quarterback. We're not gonna do anything. Win. Kentucky's had a sneaky way of doing that, isn't? You know that?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, you gotta sometimes when you have a talent disadvantage and a recruiting disadvantage, you have to make funky things happen to find an advantage. Do some things that these players haven't seen before. Sometimes, which you know what they don't do this year. Do things that the team hasn't seen before.
Oh, I got a
Yep.
YouTube. We got. All right.
What is this a YouTube?
1999 Louisville 70,692.
I thought it was 02 Georgia.
No, this is number. That was number.
The video is
the
like
video. So top 10. So that was the 10th
10.
largest crowd. Number 12 Louisville in 2005 70,752. I was also at that game.
How'd that one go?
How do you think it went?
Just asking.
Stupid question.
No, I was 2.
Auburn 70,776. That was the Randall Cobb game where Cam Newton came to town. We almost beat them. Ended up losing 33-30, I believe. Then you have South Carolina in 2008 70,822.
What about when Dak came? What about when Dak came?
Yeah, that we were doing the renovation there, so that's not going to do it. Yeah. You have Louisville in 2001 70,838. LSU Kentucky 70,902. I was at that game as well. 2009 against Alabama 70,967. That was the game. That was actually semi-close. That was I forget who was the
Alabama quarterback.
No, who was
Kentucky
our
quarterback?
Locke was the running back. He had some big plays in that game. Tennessee in 2009 70,981. That was the year that Kentucky won on the road at Georgia and Auburn. They could have won 8 games for the first time. They got a pick 6 early in the game, still lost. That was the one game that Lane Kiffin was the coach for Tennessee. 1-0 against Kentucky there. That was that game. 1999 against Tennessee 71,022. And then the largest crowd says that it is Florida in 2007 College Game Day 71,024, and I was at that game as well. Kentucky, I remember, started off really hot in that game because they scored a touchdown deep. That was a very unfortunate game. But yes,
I'm looking at this Alabama 2009 game. Hey, Greg McElroy, Mark Ingram, Trent Richardson, and Julio Jones on the same team. That is ridiculous.
It's filth.
That's the kind of thing that you cannot do in the transfer portal area. Saban was talking about that on game day today. You cannot have teams with that many good players on it anymore.
Kentucky threw an opening touchdown to Dickie Lyons Jr., like a 50-yard touchdown on the first drive, and then that was not on the Kentucky offense that game. I will tell you that. Kentucky's defense did not play well in that game. So, but anyway, that's besides the point. We got to get to our final break here. I guess Jaden, you a little bit less mad now going into the last break.
Yeah, I feel pretty good.
Feeling good.
I feel pretty good. I mean,
didn't expect to go down that road about largest crowds. So, but anyway, we'll be back with predictions and talk about some games going on here, like our thoughts, and take you home and get ready. We are about a little over 2 hours from kickoff. You're listening to the Bleed Blue Football Pregame Show on 102.7 The Game.
Christmas at the Mudd's home used to be simple and small, but our family has grown, and so has Mudd's Furniture. Stop by today to see a Christmas wonderland of savings during our pre-holiday sales event and enjoy 25% off store-wide. Furniture and accessories for every room. Let Mudd's Furniture help you get your home ready for the holidays with 25% off. From our family to yours, Mudd's Furniture.
Hi, this is Travis Sultry from Foreman Watson Poultry. Whether it's a car wreck, an injury, a business dispute, criminal defense, or a family law matter, our attorneys are known for a relentless pursuit of perfection with an expectation of excellence. We are creative, consistent, and courageous. We are Foreman Watson Poultry, dedicated to you, committed to justice. FWHlegal.com.
returns home back to the Sports Center to take on IU Southeast Wednesday night, 7 p.m. here on WBIO. Join the voices of KWC, Vic Evans and Stephen A. Turner.
Here comes a double team with Jolly. Gives it to Miles. Extra pass. Kavion. Sniper in the corner. 3. Bang! Let's go!
It's the Panthers versus the Grenadiers. Wednesday night, 7 p.m. on your home for KWC basketball, 94.7 WBIO. Courtesy of James H. Davis Funeral Home.
There's an issue cutting through the bipartisan bickering in Congress. It's AM radio. The overwhelming majority of legislators, Democrats and Republicans, support a bill to keep AM radio in cars. But time is running out. Text AM to 52886 and ask Congress to bring this bill to the floor for a vote now. AM radio is too important to let this moment pass us by.
Message and data rates may apply. You may receive up to 4 messages a month, and you may text STOP to stop.
This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
Hey, Kentucky families, it's time to fall back into your child's school routine again. And that includes making sure they're up to date on the latest immunizations. Kentucky schools depend on every child staying up to date on the latest immunizations in order to protect the health and well-being of all children. Public health is a team sport, so let's stay in the game with community immunity. Call 855-598-2246 to find a provider near you. This message paid for by Kentucky Voices for Health, the Kentucky Broadcasters Association, and this station.
What's going on? Welcome back to the Bleed Blue Kentucky Football Pregame Show here on 102.7 The Game. We are in the last segment here, and we're going to kind of walk through a few games that we find interesting today.
Before we get into that, I think the kid on game day hit an 800K kick.
There's
really?
No way.
Yeah, on the first try.
That's sick. Interesting games today we'll go through that have, some significance in one way or the other. Clemson at Pitt tonight. Clemson is a 12.5 point favorite. Who do you got? Or sorry, this is a noon game.
Yeah, I'll take Clemson. I think, like I said, Pitt's reeling a little bit. I kind of still think Clemson is good, even though they lost to Louisville.
Can you still be good if you lose to Louisville, though?
Next question.
Kendall, who you got?
Clemson for sure.
I do as well. Virginia at Notre Dame.
I also think Notre Dame is playing for their playoff lives. So I'm gonna take Notre Dame. Pretty easy.
I agree. I mean, yeah, just like you said.
I'm gonna say Notre Dame,
mentality.
but closer than the experts think. I don't know why I feel like that game's gonna be.
So Virginia covers the 22.
I think everything Virginia covers.
Right
yeah.
now, yeah.
LSU and Florida. Florida is a 3.5 point underdog. I'm going to go Gators in this game. I think Florida gets LSU.
I want to agree with you so badly, but I just still think Florida is just so not good, which is very much.
I think they're very bipolar, and I think LSU's reeling a little bit with getting absolutely curb stomped last week by Alabama.
I'll join you.
I think Florida wins.
I think
I'll
Florida
join
wins
you.
this too.
I like Florida in this game. I don't know why I do, but I really do.
Lagway looks like he could present the same problems Milroe did.
Correct. Yeah, I agree. Missouri at South Carolina.
South Carolina by 1 million.
I think I'm taking South Carolina by more than 13.
I think they're going to do the same thing they did to Vandy, A&M, us. Those two edge rushers are going to get after the backup quarterback, and he's going to throw a pick or a fumble or a scoop and score, something weird.
Crazy.
Arizona State, Kansas State, kind of an elimination game in the Big 12. I'm gonna go with Kansas State in a close one, only because it's in Manhattan.
I somewhat think Arizona State is worse than their record, so I'm going to take Kansas State. I don't know what the spread is, but
7.5.
I'll take them to cover. Kansas State.
I also agree Kansas State.
The big one tonight, the last one that's besides Kentucky, we will talk about Georgia down between the hedges against Georgia. I will lead this one off. I think that Georgia is a 9-point favorite. I think Georgia covers more than that. I think I like Georgia by 2 or more touchdowns today.
I'll take.
Historically, Georgia has not played 2 straight bad games, and it's in Athens. I think Georgia wins this game handedly.
I'll take Georgia as well, but I'll take Tennessee cover, I guess.
You think Tennessee's closer than 9?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I think Georgia will walk in and absolutely just sweep them, especially after last week. I mean, and they're doing some really cool stuff down there this weekend for the game too.
The game day's there. SEC Nation's there.
They did a free show with Megan Maroney, and the first 200 people get free tickets to Spotify festival.
Man, can we do some stuff like that?
I know.
I guess we got to get game day, right?
Yeah.
If we would have lost to South Carolina, we might have.
Went to school at Georgia. But yeah, completely free for students.
All right, going to today's game. Kentucky takes on Murray State. It is First Responders Day, so we definitely want to say thank you to all those who serve the country, as police officers, first responders, paramedics. We thank you for your service and everything you do, and it's great to see. There'll be a lot of military members in the fans. There'll be a lot of salute to service today. So I'm excited for that perspective.
Potential flyover?
Probably, I think you'll see a flyover today.
Cool.
It should be a pretty day out. I thought it was gonna be sunny. It looks like the sun still isn't out.
It looks exactly the same as it did when I looked up an hour ago.
It does. I don't know if it's just gonna be overcast now.
Well, we're not in Lexington either. To be fair.
Maybe supposedly it's supposed to get more sunny around 1, right or before kickoff.
We'll
so
see.
we shall see. So I'll start off. I don't usually start, so I'll start this one. I think Kentucky wins this game. I think it's not particularly close. I said something, but it would tie the most points, and so I want to beat it. So I'm going to say Kentucky wins 63-3 today. And my MVP is going to be Wilcox. I think Wilcox goes for almost 200 today.
I think we'll win 48-7 and MVP Danke.
I will go. You know what? I'm going to agree. They get the most points of the Stoops era. I will go 66 to. You know what? 66-0 Kentucky. I mean, I don't know that I've ever seen.
Bless.
I don't know that I've ever gone down so far in these lists to find some teams. I think this is a Bush Hamden offense, take your anger out game because next week you might not have a chance to get anger out. I think that they take advantage of this opportunity. I don't think they come out sleepy because I think that they want to actually win a game and roll a team and feel good after a game.
Themselves?
Yeah, feel happy after they leave the football stadium, not getting yelled at by everybody. I think they'll really.
Who do you think the MVP is?
MVP, I'll take just kick Cutter.
Cutter. Oh, you
I
give Cutter the MVP. All
Yeah,
right.
I'll take
I like that.
I
have a sneaky suspicion you're going to see Jamari onto the house, maybe the first play of the game.
Yeah, something like that. I would take Wilcox anytime touchdown as a bet. I just don't know that he's going to play enough to get to 200.
Yeah, but I mean, I think he could get 200 on 10 carries.
He very well could. It's totally possible. Yeah, I think that they might throw it around even a little bit. Just
if Ray Davis was the quarterback, if Ray Davis was the running back, and they just gave it to Ray Davis today, let's just spin reality. If Ray Davis was the running back at Kentucky for this game, and all they did was run the ball, and let's say he got 20 carries, what would be his stat line go at today?
If Ray Davis got 20 carries,
if he was playing today,
I mean. 200. How many carries did he have in the Florida game when he had 293? I think it would be worse than. I think it would be like that. It would be worse than the
I think he would go for 350. I think he go 350 for and 5 touchdowns.
I think if he played quarterback, he'd throw for 250.
Hey, we're gonna feel really dumb when the quarterback trips and falls on the first play of the game, and we're down 7-0.
Yeah,
60 seconons in.
There is guaranteed to be a screenshot of Murray State's first lead of the season
right now
with Brock Vandegrift's
oh my God.
with Brock Vandegrift's face in the second quarter on the screen.
Oh my God!
Just because we said these numbers, but
there was a game actually, and back in the Stoops era, for early when we played Alabama, and Kentucky was winning 6-3 against Alabama, and Alabama had 3 fumbles or something. And I remember going into the game, I had consumed too much, and all of us did, because we're we're just gonna get pummeled, but it's gonna be fun to watch Alabama, right? And then we're going nuts, and then Alabama happened the rest of the game. But it was a fun first quarter. Let me put it that way.
Hopefully today is a fun first quarter, and then we can you can lock into some other games with this one on in the background.
Yeah.
I do hope a little bit, because I would like to be able to get to the women's game with enough time to set up and not have to stress about things. So that would be very nice for me. Kentucky's obviously we've been looking through Twitter extensively to see if there's any news about anybody out. I haven't seen anything. Doesn't mean you won't hear anything closer to kickoff. Obviously, we're about 2 hours away from kickoff right now. So that doesn't mean anything. I think we should see a lot of interesting players today. It would be nice to see a cutter bully to Willie Rodriguez touchdown, a cutter bully to Harley Gilmore touchdown.
Harley Gilmore first touchdown looks mighty promising.
I think those things would be really nice to see, because now you're seeing like the future kind of take shape. And the future might be now in some instances, but I think you're seeing the future take shape a little bit more from that perspective. And I think that would be a good thing to see.
There's gonna be somebody weird that gets a touchdown. And there's gonna be somebody that the stadium kind of looks around and they're like, who is that?
Josh Caddis.
Wait a minute.
I'm dogging that dude until
who is he?
I'm dogging that guy until I get my sushi.
We still need sushi.
There's a story there.
I'm trying to just look through the roster real quick and try to find some random. The problem is they don't have any depth at these positions because everybody's hurt. Maybe it's Bo. Maybe Bo gets the touchdown, and some people are like, "Oh yeah, Bo's back." That's nice. Obviously, Bo, friend of the program, but like the people sitting in the stadium might be like, "Oh, that was nice. Bo got back in." I could see something like that. That just, I don't know. Fred Ferrier. Does he have a touchdown? He has one. I mean,
he does. Do you have one?
I don't know.
I don't think he does.
We're running.
You got about 30
very
seconds.
quick on time.
Yeah, you got like 30
Fred
seconds.
Ferrier. He doesn't. Yeah, Fred Ferrier.
Give him one.
Yeah.
All right. Everyone scores today. You get a touchdown. You get a touchdown. You get a touchdown. It's going to be like the Oprah show in the early 90s. You get a car and you get a car. Anyway, thanks everyone for listening or streaming live with us on social media. We will be back next week. I think our pregame show starts at like noon next week, I believe, for Texas 3:30 kickoff. Don't forget to get out and support the UK women's basketball game. We'll see you next week.
You've been listening to the Bleed Blue Kentucky pregame show on 102.7 The Game. This has been a broadcast service from Cromwell Media. Join us next game day for more Kentucky pregame action. Thanks for joining us.
Are you ready for some football? We're ready for